tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we will talk about Kapilavatthu. Last night we have already mentioned many suttas are delivered in Kapilavatthu. So I have already passed fine to organizer, right? And combine all the sutta, all the Jataka story, Dhammavada story together, right? I cannot give everything about Kapilavatthu in this retreat. So now today we are going to talk about King Mahanama. So you may need to know who is the King Mahanama. Actually, he is the older brother of Venerable Anuruddha. So he also second. So he had attained Anagami. That means he had very strong bharami. Since he was a related of the Buddha, also older brother of Venerable Anuruddha, also he is also the king in the country. The Buddha frequently visited Kapilavatthu. Also, he also asked questions. So here we should say a few things about the Mahanama's question. Because there are many other suttas. Some of them are very wide. But today I have to talk about only daily basics. That means you can apply all this topic in your daily life. Because some of them are very high, so I want to use this kind of method, this kind of teaching here. So one day, King Mahanama asked the Buddha, that means the practice of lay followers, especially Upasaka. So you are many of your yogi are also lay follower, lay devotees, right? As a lay devotees, what should we do? What should we practice? This is his question to the Buddha. But here the Buddha mentioned very simply, Sila, morality. So let me, as a lay follower, lay persons, we must undertake precepts, we must observe precepts, also we must keep our moral value. Not only that, we must also have other people to be moral. For example, to avoid some rules to be broken, or breaking rules, right? To avoid breaking rules, then we can also share our experiences. For example, Vikala Bhojana. Not to break Vikala Bhojana, we can do like this, we can do like this, we can do like this. And there are many, many ways. Similarly, not to commit Panadipata, then you may have experience how to avoid it. We can share our own experiences to avoid. So not only for our own moral precepts or moral value, we also have to upgrade the value of our community. This is the real Buddhist devotees. So why we have to do like this? Peacefulness. happiness, cannot enjoy alone. Although we want to enjoy peacefulness, if environment disturbed, we cannot feel peaceful. That is why we have to upgrade the moral value of our community in order that we may feel more peaceful. Or we can also say another way. We can do for the welfare of ourselves. We can also do for the welfare of our community. If we can help them to be moral. Okay, this is the first part, morality, Sila. So later I have to explain Silanussati, so I will not elaborate too much here. Then here again, Saddha, faith. We have already mentioned many things about Saddha before. You may remember, Saddha is like a seed we can plant, it will grow. Saddha also can make mind clear and pure. We have many simile mentioned. One of the simile is like a gemstone or universal monarch. Universal monarch has a gemstone. It's a special power. So he want to drink water, but the water is really dirty. Also very hot. If we put gemstone into the water, it will subside all the dust. Also, it can make water clean and also cool. Similarly, when we have Saddha, our mind becomes clear, pure. That means we can subside defilements naturally. So not only that, we can also feel peaceful. This is the nature of Saddha. When we have Saddha, not only we do for ourselves, we must also share our experiences, our knowledge about Saddha. When we have strong faith, of course, we can also help other people to have strong faith. This is also good Buddhist devotees. So we already mentioned before, when we have Saddha, we can do dana well. We can also do Sila well. We can also practice Samatha Vipassana well. If we don't have Saddha, we may have many discounts, many bargaining. Right? For example, here all the yogis are undertaking 10 precepts, right? Why 10 precepts? What about 8 precepts? You may discount. You may bargain. That means you may have many reasons not to follow the rules. You may have many reasons not to meditate. That means you don't have faith, Saddha. So I already mentioned sometimes we have overconfidence. It becomes arrogant or stubborn, right? So if we have very clear faith, we also have to share our Dhamma friends. This is the nature of good devotees, good Upasaka. So if we can make other people's mind clear, it's more precious than giving money, right? It's more precious than giving many other materials. So here we already mentioned Sila and Saddha too. If we can help other people to be moral, that means we are good friends, Kalyanamitta. Similarly, if we can make other people to have stronger faith in Buddha teaching, then we are Kalyanamitta, good friends, good associates. If we destroy other people's morality, or if we destroy other people's faith, it's not Kalyanamitta. That's why we must be very careful in this case, right? These are also the quality of Kalyanamitta. Okay, now we have to move the next one. Caga, generosity. So whenever we talk about generosity, we can also understand like dana. So later I will explain the recollection of Caga, Caga-Nussati. That's why here I will not explain too much in detail. Usually in the process of, in a long time, we already talk about dana, right? For example, receiver and donor. Both of them must be pure, right? With that kind of guidance given by the Buddha. So similarly, we also have here one more thing I have to elaborate. So we know how to do dana effectively. We can also guide our Dhamma friends to do dana effectively. Sometimes a lot of wasting, right? If we don't know how to do dana, it's a wasting. That is why if we can share our experiences, our knowledge, if we can guide our Dhamma friends how to do proper dana, effective dana, then this also good devotees, good Upasaka. We can also understand other ways. When we can guide like this, we become good friends, Kalyanamitta. Okay, here I should elaborate a few more things about Kalyanamitta again. We also have like a bad associate, right? So he may allow or agree to do many things bad. Or he may guide you to do many things bad. That's not Kalyanamitta, very clear. Although we are going to do something good, we must be, right? We must be wise enough to reflect or to investigate it is possible or not. So that means for about good friends, although you are going to do something good, he may ask many questions. He may investigate you, whether you have that kind of ability or not. Not easy to agree to do good also. That is the nature of good friends. So then if somebody agree everything you do easily, we cannot say Kalyanamitta, right? Even is a good thing, we must be very careful. Another thing is like a criticizing, we can like a backbiting, right? But in the present, very sweet, very nice. In the absence, backbiting. This is not the behavior of a good friend we associate. So that means if you are immoral, he will correct on the spot. If you don't have Saddha, he may correct on the spot. If you don't know how to do dana properly, he may speak on the spot. And in your presence, it will be more effective for you to change in the future. This is the nature of good friends, good associate. Okay, now finally, we have a Panna wisdom. So here, when we say Panna, it also the practice. Okay, here in the case of King Mahanama, since he had achieved noblehood, then he could practice well. It can be Vipassana Panna. But for ordinary people, it's not that easy to achieve that kind of insight knowledge. We may have many different types of Panna in Buddha teaching. For example, Kammasakata Panna, Karma ownership knowledge. So we may share our knowledge about karma and its a result. We may guide somebody who has wrong view. This is also called Kammasakata Panna. Karma ownership knowledge. Then we also have Silamaya Panna. So that means when we undertake precepts, we also know how to avoid, what to avoid. We also know what to do, what not to do very clearly. So through practicing, through undertaking precepts, we have more experiences, we become wiser, we become more mature. So Silamaya Panna comes from practice. Similarly, Jnanamaya Panna. So some of the wisdom are produced by jhana. All the jhana were associated with wisdom. Without wisdom, there cannot be any jhana. So this is also called wisdom. This is also for practitioners. If we are practicing, we can achieve, we can experience jhanamaya panya. Of course, Vipassana panya very strong already. Naga, Phala, path and fruition knowledges. These are very strong. These are also called panya. That means since we become wiser, we can also share, or we can also encourage our Dhamma friends to be wiser, to be more knowledgeable, to be more mature. This is also called panya. Okay, not only that, what also recommend him? You may have many types of earning, right? You also earn your money. You have your own business. For what? Here the Buddha also mentioned the purpose of earning is to support family, workers, or another said devotees, and ascetics. What I say, few things, right? Family. You can earn money, but that money cannot make your family happy. What's the meaning of earning? But not only that, you earn money, of course you have to share some of the money with your workers. Not only you give salary, there will be bonus or allowance or many things, right? If your earning cannot make your workers happy, what's the meaning of earning? In the case of deities or devas, it depends on your culture also, right? We call devata bali. It doesn't mean you must offer money to deva, right? You may do dana, you may share money with dana also possible. This is also called devata bali. Another thing, under the name of deva, we also have samudhi deva. That means the king, the government. This is also called deva. So that means you have to pay tax, right? So paying tax also dana actually. Another thing is ascetics. Ascetic means it also include bhikkhus and samaneras and siyalis, everybody, right? Every ordained person. So we can also share our earning with ordained persons. So these are the purpose of earning. It's very difficult to earn, right? After earning, also very difficult to maintain. If we use wisely, it will be beneficial for the community. The Buddha also recommended King Mahanama to do all these things. So here in this slide, I have already mentioned Sila, morality. We must have morality in the same way. We must encourage, support, guide our Dhamma friends to be moral. Similarly, we ourselves must have Saddha. If we have, we must support, have, guide our Dhamma friends to have stronger faith. Similarly, Caga, generosity. So if we do generosity, we can also share or guide or have, also support our Dhamma friends to do Caga. Panya, as we become wiser, we must also have, support and guide our Dhamma friends to become wiser. So as a lay follower, lay devotees, these are responsibilities. If we can have our Dhamma friends to have these quality, of course, they can also upgrade their value naturally. This is the first part. He mentioned to King Mahanama. Okay, now we have to say another one. From time to time, the Buddha visited Kapilavatthu, spent his time in Nigrodharama monastery. So now 15 Vasa, the Buddha was spending in his time in Kapilavatthu. When the Buddha is going to leave, during the Vasa, he has more opportunity to ask many questions. He could support Buddha and Sangha. When the Buddha was leaving, he also asked questions. How noble disciples should live in daily life. This is important, right? Many times, many people ask me, how should we live in our daily life? How should we live as a good Buddhist? What will be the quality of good Buddhist? Many questions come. The Buddha had already answered this question to King Mahanama. They are mentioned 6 recollection. So as a Buddhist, you can do this 6 recollection. The first one, Buddha Anussati, recollection of Buddha, Buddha's quality. So you have already known Itipiso Bhagavahan Sama Sambuddho, Buddha's quality. Very common in Buddhist community. I think almost every Buddhist had already memorized Itipiso Bhagavad. We can recollect Buddha's quality in our daily life. We can also spend our time by reflecting on Buddha's quality. Then I have one of the senior. Senior, the same Vasa maybe. We have the same Vasa, only a few months senior to me. Actually, he lived in the forest monastery. Also, later he moved to one village monastery, small village. Then he forced his devotee to do Buddha Anussati. Whenever people came to his monastery, they cannot see him. Do Buddha Anussati first. Then, instead of talking many other things, do Buddha Anussati. This is his way of forcing people. So sometimes they came to see him, they taught many other unnecessary things. He had to listen many unnecessary things. Then when he changed the system, nobody taught too long. Right? This is the way to force people to do Buddha Anussati. Right? But anyway, then that one is easy for every Buddhist because we have already known Itipiso Bhagavad. Of course, to know very much in detail, you have to learn special texts. Right? Last year, also I skipped talking about Buddha Anussati. Well, it's too wide. Right? But I have to talk about Buddha Anussati in Vietnam for Vietnamese. You can search Fuksang retreat. There I have already talked about Buddha's quality. For Nepali Anagami, right? I haven't talked about Buddha's quality in detail. Maybe one day I may have the opportunity to talk about Buddha Anussati, right? Then again, we have another recollection, Dhamma Anussati, recollection of Dhamma. So this one is also very common in Buddhist community. Swakado Bhagavata Dhamma, everybody had known this 6 quality of Dhamma. Then you can also recollect one after another, or only one all the time also possible. So since that one is very easy for everybody, I will skip. Okay, now next one, Sangha Anussati, recollection of Sangha. So these 3 are very common, right? Sobhadipano, everybody know that one. So that is why when we can do these 3 recollection every day, that means we are also good Buddhists. When King Mahanama asks the Buddha how to live, right, daily life as a noble disciple in household life, they were instructed to develop these recollections. These three are very common. I have to go to another three. So for another three, it's not very common. Thus, I have to elaborate a few more. It will take time. But I don't think I can finish all the slides today. Okay, now we have to move to the next one. Silanussati, recollection of morality. Actually, there are some quality of morality. Later, I have to explain in detail. Actually, that just recollect your own morality, your own virtues, when you have already practiced very pure precepts. It can make you peaceful and happy. So in the very beginning of retreat, we have already mentioned how is improving, right? At that time, you may remember, recognition of morality. Then when you can recall morality, there will be pamaja, right? Like no more remorse. In no remorse, there will be pamaja, right? Gladness or, like I say, rejoice or delight. When you have pamaja, it will produce piti, rapture or joy. When piti becomes stronger, it will produce tranquility, passaddhi. When passaddhi becomes stronger, it will produce sukha, happiness or bliss. When sukha becomes strong, it will be concentration. Yeah, in the case of Silanussati, it can be asset concentration. It also can be the foundations of Vipassana. So we can also do the same. Then Caga, recollection of generosity. It will be the same process when you do Caga. When you can recall Caga, generosity, you may have a pamaja, rejoice or delight. Pamaja becomes stronger, it will be piti, rapture, and anti-asset concentration. It will be the same process. So later I will explain in detail about Caga, how to do Caga in detail. You know, here again, Devadanussati, recollection of devas. Here, although we say recollection of devas, in reality, recollection of divine qualities. That means we also have divine quality as a human being. We can also recollect divine qualities. So the Buddha recommended these 6 recollections to King Mahanama. So if we can recall all these 6, what will be? Actually, when we can recall it, our mind will be free from attachment, hatred, and delusion. So with the wholesome mind, we have to recall all these things. These are wholesome quality, good quality. Not only that, the mind will become very upright. Then we will become more sincere, honest. Actually, after knowing good qualities very long time, we become sincere naturally. If we never experience good quality, of course, we're going to be sincere easily, right? Not only that, then we can be filled with joy and tranquility. That means we can live peacefully with tranquility. Then another thing is, although we live in the community, right, then we will not have any conflicts because we already know noble quality. We have experienced how peaceful noble quality is. So the Buddha also recommended to recollect all these 6 anytime, while walking, standing, sitting, lying down, even walking. Even you are living in the crowd, in the family, in the home, at home. You can do all these 6 recollections. This is recommended by the Buddha. Okay, now, today we should start talking about Silanussati. How to do Silanussati. Actually, I have already talked about Silanussati in Fusan also. Anyway, in Nepal, I have never talked about it. Right? Okay, now here, we just start with the first one. Akandani, unbroken. What does it mean, unbroken? That means we will not break any single precepts from the very beginning or very end of the sequence of the precepts. For example, here you have 10 precepts. You don't break Panadipada, you don't break Saddha Jata. Very beginning and very end, right? No breaking. This is called Akanda, unbroken. Achitani, untorn or unpierced. So here in this case, Achita means not broken in the middle. For example, if we say 5 precepts, the middle one will be Kamsumita Chara, right? No breaking. If we say 8 precepts, it can be Sura Mireya, or it also can be Musawara, right? 8 precepts. So 2, right? Then one of them. This is called middle one. No breaking in the middle. Okay, now here we have another one. Asabalani, unmortals. So that means no breaking 2 or 3 precepts in the row. For example, you may have good undertaking in Panadipada, but Arinadhana and Kamsumita are not very safe. Or maybe Kamsumita and Musawara are not safe, right? Then that means this is called Sabala. Not quite pure. Okay, Akamasani, unspotted or unblocked. So here also, like a broken precepts in regularly, or maybe random and double. For example, okay, Panadipada say okay, but Arinadhana is not okay. Kamsumita say okay, Musawara is not very okay, right? You may break many interval rules. This is called Akamasani. Okay, this is a traditional explanation. Okay, I will repeat. Akanda, beginning and the end. Achita, in the middle. Asabalani, 2 or 3 in the row. Akamasani, interval. Right, this is a traditional explanation. If we summarize all these 4, don't break any precepts. Right? Very simple, right? Don't break any of precepts. Focus well. Undertake everything very well. This is called these 4 qualities. So for about bhikkhu, we have many rules and regulations. Right? But anyway, we also have many ways to recover from that kind of mistakes. It depends on what kind of offense we made. There will be different solution, right? Okay, in the case of bhikkhu, as long as we confess or we just do according to rule and regulations, for example, Sanghadisesa, Parivasa, Manata, Abhanaga, we have to follow all the process. If we say Nisagiya, we must relinquish first, after that, do confession. Similarly, we also like Bhiranaka Pachitiya, right? We have to break. Chenaka Pachitiya, we have to cut. After that, we have to confess. So these are, we call, quality of Sila. If we have these four, that means our morality is pure, strong enough. Okay, now we have to move the next groove of Silanussati. The first is Buddhi Sani, liberating. What does it mean, liberating? Sometimes we are slave of craving. Slave of craving. So if we have a lot of craving, then we may also do Sila, morality. Okay, we should say easier way for your understanding. That there are many people, they undertake precepts. Knowing, right? If they undertake precepts, next life they will live long. And they want to live long, that's why they undertake precepts. If they undertake precepts, they will be beautiful in the future. That's why they undertake precepts to be beautiful in the future. Similarly, if we undertake precepts, we can be rich in the future, for example, right? That's why undertake precepts. This is called slave of craving. No, minds are not very pure. Okay, one more thing here, right? What is it? The purpose of morality. Actually, the purpose of morality is to show our kindness toward living beings. Sila also means good character, good habits, good practice. That means our speech, our actions must be useful for community. Our actions, our speech must not disturb community. That is called Sila. If we think about our own welfare, right? I want to be rich, I want to be beautiful, I want to live long, then this is not the main purpose of morality. So selfish, right? So in the case of morality, we must not be selfish. We must think about welfare of other living beings. If we don't think about other people's welfare, we just think about our own welfare, that means we are slave of Tanha, craving. If we have this kind of morality, it's not qualified enough. That means the purpose of morality must be correct. So that kind of things are called Tanha Nisita Sila. Right? So not only that, like to be removed in the Devarams, right? We also make that Sila also, right? We also undertake precepts. This one also Tanha Nisita. Depending on craving, undertaking precepts. We have another types of slavery. That one is Ditti Nisita. Ditti Nisita means depending on wrong view. We undertake precepts. Okay, I will give some example. If we can take precepts, you can take Nibbana. Maybe if we wisely use, possible, right? But Sila is not the way to Nibbana yet. Sila is just opening the door of Nibbana. Right? Asian scholar told that we have one stanza. Sakarohana Sopanan. That means Sila is staircase to heaven, Devarams. Right? Sila is a staircase to Devarams. Another thing is Dharma Panna Nibbana, Nagara Sapa Vesane. To enter Nibbana is the opening, the door, gate door. If we don't open Sila, we cannot enter into Nibbana. Right? This is just door. We must walk into Nibbana. So if we think, by doing Sila, we can take Nibbana. Actually, this is not truth. We just open the gate. Not yet Nibbana. Actually, when I talk about Sila in Myanmar, I also talk about, right? I also say many other things. For example, I already mentioned, right? Sila is the way to, staircase to Devarams. Where is it Devarams? Devarams is up, right? We have to go up. That means if your staircase is going up, you can go to Devarams. If your staircase go down, right? When your Sila is high, it will be going up, right? When Sila is low, it will go down. Obviously, right? Similarly, people have a lot of discounts not to follow. We can say a lot of excuses not to follow rules and regulations. I already mentioned Dwarama Panna Nibbana Nagara Sapa Visane. To enter Nibbana, Sila is the door, the gate door, right? If we open the door very wide, we can enter. Sometimes the door is very narrow. Your body cannot go through. Have you ever tried? Very narrow door, right? You cannot enter, right? You can just enter your head, look around, come back. Because your body cannot, it's not wide enough to enter, right? Similarly, if our moralities are not quite good, that means we don't observe very well, then we are opening a very narrow door. If we follow very well, then we are opening very wide. You can go into Nibbana easily. So that means sometimes wrong view, right? Wrong view means by doing Nibbana, we can liberate it. We can also get ultimate purity. When we have this kind of understanding, this is called wrong view. So there are some people, they just expect that kind of purity, then they just do Sila. This is also not qualified enough. If we summarize, Bodhisani liberated me, our precept must be free from Tanha, Craving, and Ditti, wrong view. This is called Bodhisa, liberation. If we say another way, when we are undertaking precept, we must not be slave of craving and wrong view. This is also important. Okay, now we have to go the next one. When you Vipassana, praised by the wise. Okay, now our morality must be qualified enough to be praised by wise person, noble person. So why it doesn't mention foolish person? Right? Sometimes foolish person also can praise moral person also, right? It doesn't count. We have traditional saying, if you are praised by 10,000 fools, don't be so proud. But if you are criticized by a wise man, you must count. So that means 10,000 fools praise, only one wise man condemn or criticize. Right? We must be very careful when criticized by wise people. So yeah, when you Vipassana, when you meet wise, we can also say when you also meet good people. Then they were praised doing, right? For example, oh, you have done this kind of, you have undertaken this kind of precepts. This is really very good for you in the future. You may have happy mind. You can also like get on. You can also have good business. You may have good reputations. You may also be very graceful in any community. Right? They may praise like this. Actually, this one is very simple, right? When you are moral, people will praise. Especially good people will praise. Bad people will not praise. Last year, I talked about that one, right? One Korean girl came to power. I didn't know about her that much, but some yogis say she was born in a rich family. I didn't know. She lives very simple. Then she was just newly graduated from the university. And then she's around 22 or something, very young. So she could see the nimitta. She also ordained temporarily. She could see nimitta, although she could focus on the nimitta. Then she was going to leave. She also say, Bandi, I'm not going to leave. I say, why? You have improvement. Why are you going to leave? I have only tourist visa. I cannot live. Of course, I cannot say, right? If tourist visa, then we cannot do anything also. We cannot extend their visa also. Then I also told her, okay, if you go back, you're going to live in Korea. I say like that. Then she said, why? It's my country. Why am I going to live there? You're going to live in that kind of community anymore. You have a different mind already. Right? Then she left. A few months later, came back. Then I told her, I also told her, now you're going to live in Korea, right? I can live, but you're going to communicate with your friend anymore, right? Then she said, how do you know? Right? I know Korea because I have been to Korea. I know, right? I spent 4 months in Korea. Not a short time, right? Not only a few days, 4 months in Korea. Then I told her, now when you see your friends, you may think what they talk is very strange to you. You don't want to listen to what they say, right? Similarly, when you say something, they will complain you. So strange. Right? Your friend will think you are a little bit strange. You also feel your friends are strange. Because of different experience already. That means mind change. Then she confessed, yes, I cannot talk with my friends. When I say something, they say you are strange. Similarly, I also feel they are strange. And before meditating, her mindset different, right? After seeing nimitta or experiencing peacefulness, calmness, mind change already. So that means her friends will never praise her, right? That means they are not wise enough to experience that kind of things. Of course, good people, wise people, they will praise her behavior, her way of speech, her way of life. Okay, if we summarize, when you Vipassana means, it doesn't mean your friend will praise you, right? Although you are undertaking Precepts very well, many of your friends will never praise you. Even they will look down upon you. Sometimes you will break up with your friends. I have already mentioned, if our moral value become quite far, we're going to live together. Okay, this is about Vipassana, right? That means whether our friends, relatives praise or not, if praised by wise, is worthy. Okay, now another one. Aparamatani. Aparamatani is unblemished. Okay, here we can also say, if we say paramatta, we can also say like a kind of wrong view or distorted thoughts or distorted thinking. Okay, if we say another way, this also actually buying, craving, and a wrong view. Right? That means, untarnished, right? That means also a kind of distorted way. Okay, practically, sometimes we are cheated by greed. We change our way. In the very beginning, everything is smooth, right? Everything is pure. Okay, practically, you may have already known Venerable Devadatta. We haven't talked about him, right? So far, Venerable Devadatta is meditating well. After 20 words, he will change his mind. Now only 15 and 5. We have to wait 5 words out, right? So Venerable Devadatta, he was in the very beginning practicing very well. Even he could attain second power. If he does not have good mind, he cannot attain that kind of things. Why he changed? Gay, faith. Big problem. He want to be popular, like Buddha, like Venerable Ananda, like Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Mamoggallana. So he do many strange things. So in the very beginning, his way of life is smooth. When his target change, it becomes very complicated. Right? Also come from Tanha, Craving. It change your way. You may many distorted idea. This is called aparamata. Okay, now we have to go to the last one. Samadhi Samvadanika, leading to concentration. Okay, here again, what does it mean leading to concentration? Actually, when we have very pure Sila, we can also do Silanussati. So these are the quality we have to recall it. For example, the first 4, you can check any of them, right? If you are qualifying with the first one, okay, do the first one. If you have qualifying with 2, okay, do number 2. Okay, now here we also another 4. Well, Bujisa, for example, right? So you are more free from craving and a wrong view. Okay, you can recall that quality. You can feel happy, peaceful. So by doing Silanussati, it will lead to concentration naturally. So that means your concentration must be qualified enough to lead to concentration. Okay, one more thing here. When we study the different level of Sila, we have 4 types. The first one is Hana Bhagiya. Hana Bhagiya means declining. So morality becomes weaker and weaker. That kind of things are not praiseworthy. Another one, Titi Bhagiya. Standing still. No more improvement. That means stuck in only Sila. Cannot develop Samadhi. That means you just spend your time with Sila. You cannot improve your concentration anymore. This is called Titi Bhagiya Sila. Another one is Visesa Bhagiya Sila. That means developing Sila. You don't stop. You don't stuck in Sila. Then you could continue practicing. You can attain asset concentration by practicing Silanussati. This is called Visesa Bhagiya Sila. Another thing is Nibbida Bhagiya Sila. Nibbida Bhagiya Sila means disenchantment. That means when we have inside knowledge based on Silanussati, there will be higher level of inside knowledge, there will be disenchantment. So this is also called the power of concentration, power of Sila. So at least, if we don't have Nibbida Bhagya, we must have Visesa Bhagya. Our morality must be strong enough to produce concentration. So here, when we talk about Samadhi, there are many different types of Samadhi. For example, Upachara Samadhi is a concentration. Apana Samadhi, absorption concentration. We have Mekha Samadhi, path concentration. Phala Samadhi, fruition concentration. All these are called concentration. So by practicing Silanussati, we cannot attain jhana. We may not have Apana Samadhi. We may have asset concentration. Based on that, if we can practice Vipassana, there will be Mekha Samadhi, path concentration, Phala Samadhi, fruition concentration. So when we are going to do recollection of Sila, we must try to remember these 8 qualities. So you have to check which quality is the best for you. How many of these 8 do you have? Then trying to use. Practically, you can feel peaceful. So I already mentioned how you can improve step by step, right? Anti-asset concentration. Actually, when we go and read in Anguttara Nikaya, it also mentioned up to Yatha Buddha Jnana, or the Vimutti, Vidakana Vimutti. Okay, so I should repeat the process, right? So Silanussati do asset concentration. So the first, recollecting Sila, morality, one of these quality. When you can recall, no more remorse, no more regret. Okay, skip that one. Right? No more regret, because you will not think about agusala also, because you are doing gusala, right? Okay, skip that one. We should talk about pamaja, delight or rejoice. So when your Sila is pure, when you can do Silanussati, pamaja, rejoice and delight. When pamaja becomes stronger, it will produce piti, rapture or joy. When piti becomes stronger, it will produce passaddhi, tranquility. Bodily and mentally, you may become peaceful. When passaddhi becomes very strong and powerful, it will produce sukha, bliss. Then, when bliss or blissful mind becomes stronger, it will produce concentration. Here, in the case of Silanussati, it will be asset concentration. That can be the foundations of Vipassana. Then when you go and study Anguttara Nikaya, there's also a few more steps after that. After Samadhi, there will be Yatha Bhuta Jnana, knowing Namarupa as they truly are. That means when we have concentration, we can know Namarupas truly. When there's a Yatha Bhuta Jnana, there will be Nibbida Jnana. Nibbida Jnana means disenchantment. The knowledge of disenchantment, right? Then when it becomes stronger, there will be viraga, detachment. When there's detachment, there will be vimutti, liberation. So this is called pavatikama, the aura or horizon. After this will happen. After this will happen. The aura or horizon. So this is also the way to develop until we can attain path and fruition knowledge based on Sila. Actually, There are many other explanations in Visuddhimagga and Abhidhamma. It will be too wide. So this kind of information, now here this sutta, right? The Mahanama Sutta was delivered in, that we can find in Anguttara Nikaya. So today, 1 hour already, right? I can find it only Silanussati. So tomorrow, 2 more. Caga and Devadanussati. The last Dhamma talk, right? Tomorrow, for this retreat. Okay, if we summarize, as a householder, as a Buddhist disciples, how should we spend our time in daily life? Now we already talked about Buddhanussati, Dhammanussati, Sanghanussati, Silanussati. Then also Caganussati, Devadanussati. So by recollecting, reflecting all these qualities, you can also live peacefully in household life. Okay, so this also, all the recollections can lead to only as a concentration, but this also can be foundations of Vipassana, for Sukha Upasaka. Okay, now I will stop here. May you all be able to practice 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize final cessation and not suffering. Okay, you may have a question. Okay, any question?
Dạ, bạch Ngài cho câu hỏi liên quan tới giới của vị tỳ khưu. Ví dụ như có một vị tỳ khưu được có một gia đình mở cho một cái tài khoản và coi như đó là cái nơi an toàn và người ta cúng dường tứ vật dụng vào cái tài khoản đó, nhưng mà vị tỳ khưu đấy không trực tiếp sử dụng, thì qua cấp y giá của mình, người cấp y giá có thể sử dụng cái tứ vật dụng đó để làm các cái phận sự cho cái vị sư đó, thì có được không ạ? Thì có đúng giới không ạ? Đứng tên vị sư, người gia đình mở. Dạ.
So related to Bhikkhu Vinaya, he would like to ask if Bhikkhu, for his convenience, his kapiya or family open for his one bank account with his name, and the donation come to that account, but he never use that account controlled by kapiya, and kapiya use the requisites in that account to serve him or to spend like legally. So is it allowable?
If you don't have it, much better, right?
Nếu chúng ta không có làm như vậy,
We cannot guarantee. For example, you have bank account, right? You cannot guarantee you will use or not. Control by devotee, for example, sometimes if Bhikkhu cannot trust kapiya, he will take it. Right? This is the normal. Okay, practically, how many times Ugoda has been cheated by kapiya, do you think? Right? Similarly, how many times Pausa has been cheated by kapiya? Right? That means if kapiya cheated, we cannot guarantee. Right? So, okay, in the case of Pao Doya, which is a Pao Doya arrangement, right? So bank accounts, I think by 3 or 4, I'm not sure. I mean, no, I remember 3 or 4. Okay, for example, 3, for example, right? If 2 of them agree, they can withdraw money. If only 1 of them go to the bank, they will not give you. Right? But if we say 4, if 3 agree, can take it. If 2 go, they will not give you money. Like this, right? So it depends on what kind of bank account do they make. For example, because of one of the member, right? Because of one of the member, for example, right? In the committee or bank account owner, then he may say yes or no. This is also like a manager money. It will be unallowable. So from my point of view, it's not recommendable to have a bank account for bhikkhu. Okay.
Sadhu.
In sum, Sayadaw,
Okay.
khi mới ngồi thiền, con niệm Itipiso rất nhiều lần thì có bị phụ thuộc không ạ? Con niệm tầm 50 phút để hơi thở tự nhiên lại. Đôi khi con niệm trong cả vô thức nữa ạ. Và lúc niệm, con niệm như thuộc lòng chứ không thật sự rõ nghĩa từng từ. Nhưng nếu không niệm, con khó thấy hơi thở tự nhiên mà cứ gồng lên ạ. Trong thời gian thành thiền, khi phóng tâm, con luôn tác ý đến lời dạy của Ngài và lấy đó làm động lực để tinh tấn, được không ạ? Vì con rất ngưỡng mộ Ngài, nên con tác ý đến lời dạy của Ngài, con thấy hiệu quả. Since the retreat is almost ending, I'm worried I may no longer have a chance to receive your guidance. When I first sit for meditation, I recite Itipiso many times. Would this create dependencies or attachment? I usually recite it for about 5 to 10 minutes to help the breath become natural again. And sometimes I even find myself reciting it unconsciously. When I recite, I do it more from memory rather than truly understand the meaning of each word. But if I do not recite it, I find it difficult to experience a natural breath, and I become tense and forceful in breathing.
Okay, so 10 minutes is too long, right? If you can do less than 10 minutes, or 1 minute, 2 minutes, just to calm down your mind, that reciting is okay, no problem. Right? 10 minutes is too long usually, right? Another thing is like without knowing the meaning or just habitually chanting, right? This is also not quite good. Chant slowly, understanding the meaning, much better.
During meditation, when my mind wanders, is it all right if I recollect your teachings and use them as motivation to arouse the energy and diligence in practice? Because I deeply admire you, I find that reflecting on your teachings is very effective for me and help me practice more diligently.
Okay, for short time it's okay. If you don't have a habit, it's not quite good, right? That means don't make that kind of habit also. Next one.
Con xin đảnh lễ sư, con xin hỏi nếu một người đã quy y Tam Bảo Phật Pháp Tăng, nếu người đó đi đến nơi thờ tự của ngoại đạo khác, thăm viếng ngoại giao mà chắp tay chào hỏi, đảnh lễ giáo chủ ngoại đạo thì có bị đức tam quy không? I respectfully bow to Sayadaw. I would like to ask if a person has taken refuge in triple champs and later visits a non-Buddhist place of worship for social or diplomatic purpose and joins their palms in greeting or bow to the founder or religious leader of that faith, would this break or invalidate there are 3 refuges.
Okay. Actually, another name of 3 refuge, there can be some exceptions. For example, although he or she is a non-Buddhist, but she's your teacher. He's your teacher, for example, right? You may have learned something from him or her. In this case, this is also exception. Because this is a teacher, right? Another thing. For example, some of the place, like for example, powerful people, like minister or prime minister, that kind of people, right? If you don't show respect, risky for you, right? This is one of the things. Another thing is like you are related, your parents, that kind of thing, right? Okay, if we summarize, if you don't show respect, people criticize you. Like you are not very polite, not very humble, right? They may have that kind of criticizing. So out of fear, you may show respect. In this case, we cannot say breaking. It's okay.
Đối với việc niệm giới, chúng ta có nên hình dung cái gì không, và chúng ta cần phải lặp lại những cái từ đó trong tâm nhiều lần không? Sayadaw, for Silanussati, do we visualize anything, and do we need to repeat any phrase mentally? Thank you, Sayadaw.
Actually, for about visualizing, we don't need to visualize, right? For about mentally recitation, okay, you can also do any of Pali phrase. You can also change your own language, it doesn't matter. For example, Akandani, Achidani, right? Akamasani, Asabalani, I already mentioned, right? You can choose any of them in Pali or in your own language. This is also okay. Without recitation, mentally, if you can recall, it much better.
Thưa Ngài, con xin phép được hỏi những kỹ năng và đức tính nào cần thiết để phải có đối với hành giả thực hành thiền niệm hơi thở, và kỹ năng nào là quan trọng để giúp hành giả thực hành thiền niệm hơi thở được thành công ạ? So may I ask which skill and quality that is necessary for a meditator when he practice anapanasati, and the most important skill that help him to successfully in anapanasati.
Okay. This was how to be natural. And this is very important one. If your breathing becomes unnatural, you may feel discomfort very easily. This is also one of the things, very important to be natural. Okay? Another thing is, make your mind calm. Don't make your mind busy. This is also very important. Another thing, don't expect immediate results. Right? Within a few minutes, you're going to have very deep concentration. You pressure yourself more and more, you're going to feel peaceful. You're going to have good concentration. So don't be in a hurry, right? Don't expect immediate results. This is also very important. Then where's another one, right? Don't compare with other. Right? You are you, they are they are them. So I have seen the lights all over the body. I have seen the lights very bright in front of me, behind me. Right? Many people will report many different things. You can listen to their reports, but don't think you will experience the same. Okay? So that means you can listen to other people's reports, but you cannot use their report all the time. Okay? Another thing?
Con hành thiền niệm hơi thở vài lần, có ánh sáng như ngôi sao hiện lên ở cửa mũi. Tuy nhiên, nó không lâu và không ổn định, tức là có thời thì hiện lên, có thời không. Vậy cách thực hành như thế nào để định tâm của con có thể phát triển ổn định hơn ạ? Con kính tri ân Ngài. I practice Anapanasati, and sometimes there is a light like a star appear in the front of the nostril. However, it will not last long and will not stable. Means sometimes have, sometimes doesn't. Then how can I practice in order to improve my concentration and stabilize it?
Actually, when the light is not very stable, don't think about it too much also. Keep knowing breathing, it will be better. So now the light is changing a lot, right? Changing location, changing color, changing shape. If too much, that means it's not a nimitta, not very stable yet. Don't think about it. Another thing is like you just see only short time, right? When your mind inclined to the light, it will change a lot. So more focus on the breathing naturally and simply, it will be better. No more, okay. Now, few minutes remain. Okay, you have a question here?
Sayadaw, what is the proper way for a good student to use the interview to respect the teacher and make the improvement? Like proper way to
interview. Okay. Actually, proper way to interview me. Go to the point. Right? Go to the point means, for example, okay, what's your difficulty? How do you feel you are improving? Sometimes you feel you are improving, but sometimes not really improving. Right? If you feel something improve, okay, report that one. If you have difficulty, report one. Report that one. So that means we can say two different things, right? Now the first one is a failure. Another one is a achievement. You can report these two. Go to the point. It's easier, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Then, okay. We can share merit now, right? Idame bunyam asawakaya vaham hodu. Idame bunyam nibbanasa bhateyo hodu. Mama bunya bhagan sabasatana bhajemi te sabe me samam punya bhagam lavandu sadhu sadhu sadhu.